Welcome guys to this tutorial video, and in this video I'm gonna be covering the kit creator from PES Master, and this is gonna be part 1 of 3, in which this video, part 1, we're gonna go over the creator basics, and this is the free mode online, and part 2 we'll go further with the PES Master Plus and Ultimate Mode subscription, which is only about $24 a year, but more than worth it. Okay, guys? And that's the one I usually use for all the special kits that I share with you guys. And but most of the stuff you can do with part 1. And then part 3, we're gonna cover tips and tricks and things that you can do to come up with creative ways to mimic the published kits that they come out, and anything you want to do, really anything special. So we'll cover that, and we'll get moving here with the first video. It is about 50 minutes, but I wanted to go in enough detail that works out as a placeholder for you guys as a tutorial. And I'm gonna be putting together in the description box the times with the different sections that I'm covering will be, so you can jump to any particular section if you have a question about how to use the tools. So let's get going with this. All right, so how to access the tool to begin with. So this is at pesmaster.com, and here's the page that comes up when you type that in. So right here at the top, you see pesmaster.com. Pretty straightforward. And this page is very generic for this big tool that a lot of users of PES play with. You know, information about data packs, the creator. There is a beta version of the creator, but that's not what we're going to cover today. You can put together some squads, check out how the players can grow, you know, how high can they go after you train them fully. You can create cards, so you can do advanced search of players, kit creator, the kit creator beta called 2.0 right here. This is not what we're gonna cover, guys. We're gonna cover the basic one, but this is how it looks. They have moved to a more graphical user interface, but until it gets tested a little bit more, I don't want to cover that yet. So they got squad builder again, featured players, iconic moments. They got information about data pack, and they got, by the way, they got a card creator. You can put your picture there and come up with a just put a 95 on you. Very cool. Anyways, let's hit the kit creator from here, and this is where we go. So here is the kit creator, guys. And this is the, of course, I'm going to close that ad. That's one of the drawbacks of using the free version, but it's just fully functional for what you need to do, and you see how much it can be done here. So this is pretty cool. You can touch anywhere in the kit and change the color. It gives you the option. So I want to highlight the color here. So let me go through some of the menu here. This menu here in the top left, we are using the 3D view, and we can drag around the kit, as you can see, with the left button on the mouse, and drag it. By the way, while we're here, you can see that these little functions here, I like to play with the full view, and you can still drag it around like that to look at the back, the sides, and the front. Okay. All right. Having said that, I just want to highlight that this is a pretty nice way to start. You don't have to sign up or pay anything. You can just, again, use this. The only thing is you won't be able to save properly. You will have to download the final version that you got. Now here, the texture view, it shows you the flat version of it as it's imported into the game, which is what you have seen when I download kits for you guys. There are tricks that you can do with this that will be part of my last video, part 3. What I show you, even with paint, you can do stuff and modify your kits. With settings, the important thing about this particular button here or menu, and let me go to it. Someone is calling me here. And they have a scale of 1 through 4. You want to be working at 4, which is 2048 by 2048 with the best resolution you can do for the games. The only game that you need a lower resolution will be the older ones, the very old ones. Otherwise, you really, I mean, you want to be working with 2048, which is the large size kits. To be honest, I mean, it's just the best resolution. It's going to work better. I wouldn't mess with anything else. Okay, so just keep it at 4. So you want, the important thing is just to have it set up at 4, because when you save or you download, it's going to be downloading with that resolution. Okay, so I won't comment on anything else on this page, just to keep that at number 4. There's design inspiration, but you need the Plus membership to access, and they're pretty cool because there's some pre-designed stuff that you can open and use as a starting point. But that will be covered on the next video. Okay, so just to show you that if you were to become a Plus member, they got some nice stuff here. I don't want to spend too much time on this because that will be covered later, but you get the ad-free experience, you get exclusive templates and graphics, and the design inspiration, as I was saying. All right, and then there is a level for ultimate. The ultimate, I think, is just under $24. And here's some of the templates that you see here with the graphics that you can use to start. But that is once you pay to use it. That once a year, I paid just under $24, and I get access to all this and a lot more features that are pretty amazing. And I will be detailing that in the next video. So I don't want to spend too much time browsing through this, but you can certainly look into these clips that they have here to see the thing that you can do when you are a member. So they don't pay me to do this video, by the way. I just think it's the best resource for us PES fans that want to do some mods. All right. So that was design inspiration again. Let me reload the page. Whenever you hit reload, they give you a basic. I'm gonna change the shared color again here. A basic model here, and we are gonna build a nice kit. Let me close this again. See, that's the pain in the butt because it keeps coming out, but just click X and don't exit the page. All right, so they got upcoming stuff, and what you see here is some new designs, new patterns, and anything with the logo in gold there, that's accessible when you have the membership. But some of the other stuff you can use, you know. So that logo with the gold, that's the Get Plus. That's why they have it there, to tempt you into going for that. And I'm telling you, it is worth it. It is worth it. So there is a geometric pattern. There are some other patterns that don't have that plus requirement, and you can use them. There is some information, and it's telling you that you can apply this to 2020, 2019, 18, and PC or PS4. And they got some guides from Konami, and you can read them at your own here. Stuff that I covered already in some other videos on how to download kits. But anyways, I think this is pretty cool. It's telling you to use a template, adjust colors, add design, add extra designs, sponsor logos, etc. And you'll see how I go one by one on these steps in this video. We're gonna cover all the basics, guys. I promise, all the details, we're gonna go through all of them. That's why it's 50 minutes. All right. They got FAQ, and you know, things that people ask, and things that have not worked out, so you can read at your own. But nothing here that I have really experienced big issues with. This software is pretty nice. And so those are just basic frequently asked questions. You got some tools here that you can create a monochrome logo. That's with Plus membership again. And there is a kit converter. Unless you have PS6, you don't need this. So I totally ignore this. I haven't played with it. But you can convert the kits anyways for that earlier version. So it looks something like this. And I'm not sure that that has a lot of utility unless someone is still playing with 6. I'm not sure about that. So, and save kits, obviously you need to log in if you have a membership, so you can save your kits right here in their database. And PS3 texture view, that's how it looks. I don't think there's a lot of utility again on this. We want to concentrate on the latest. And let's get started. Let's get started with the details and the better stuff. We are in 3D view. And I'm going to take you step by step, and we're going to create a nice design from the beginning all the way through. So let's look at this. We're looking at the shirt view, but you can use the full, as you see there. You can rotate it, right? Obviously, you can just hit the shirt or the shorts to take a closer look, and the socks, you're working on the socks for details. But otherwise, I like to look at the full for most of the time, because I'm trying to see how all the colors match with each other. From the camera, this is not a lot of utility. It says side, it just turns a little bit there. I'm not sure that does anything for me. It really doesn't do anything. This is just manually turn it to the back, which you can do with the mouse, and just rotate it around. Same here, front. You know, this is kind of a unusable. The only thing cool here is that you can make it rotate 360 on its own, which is pretty smooth. That's kind of nice if you're creating a video or something, but I haven't used it for anything anyways. Even then, I can rotate it with the mouse. So I would say that particular feature really, I mean, they can get rid of. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. You just have it there and you rotate it with your mouse. Now you can show the long sleeve. Again, not a lot of application to it except for just seeing how it will look once you import this into the game, and if a player has it, but you can see it at the game too. So there is nothing special that you do here for that. Whatever you put as cuffs, it will carry on into the long sleeve. And then you got the tucked in. If it's checked, and it will be like that, like Joe Moutinho or Benzema, and tucked out by not checking that. So let's look at the shirt. Now we can get a closer look at the shirt, and on the left here you got, I think, about 13 colors. Yeah, and those match a lot with what you have on PES, okay? And remember, when you import any of these into the game, you have to reassign the color. But when you're designing it, it's kind of nice to be able to have all these options, because you know how it's going to look at the end. So when you bring it into the game, then you need to assign that color properly. Remember that when you are adding it into your game. So let's start with the round one, because we can do a lot more stuff just to show you. And let's look at the full view again. So now we can move to the right hand side, guys, and let's go one by one. Here is log in to save. Yeah, it's telling you if you have an account, just log in so you can save your stuff. Texture download when you're done. And the preview, there is no difference. I'm telling you right now, unless somebody can correct me, please. There is no difference between the preview and the texture. The only thing the preview does is to let you see that flat file right away, but you can do that also with the texture view. Recolor is kind of a cool tool, because if you're doing multiple designs, you can take initial design colors and say, you know what, all these colors are cool, but anything that is purple, I'm gonna turn into some red. Anything pink, I'm gonna turn yellow, and or leave the rest like that. And when you apply it, you don't have to go piece by piece and change the colors. The actual colors get recolored. So that is Recolor. Pretty straightforward, right? So I love this feature. I use it a lot when doing multiple designs. Now under settings, I was thinking of satin and glossy and stuff. I mean, you can make this look like it's plastic. I really don't use this, but there may be some application or some of you that say, you know, let me just try to have a plastic looking, I don't know, wet looking kit. So anyways, I usually use it all the way to 0 there. I'm not interested on that. It's more realistic. All right, so that's all for those. Now let's get to work. So we go one by one here. For the shirt, what can we customize around the shirt? Let me hit here, and right now we're using a template that is basic, and you can change the template. But right here in this button, let me see what I'm gonna do with this. I'm thinking, and I'm gonna recolor a little bit more to let you see how we can transform a shirt. So right here, we're gonna take that guy and make it match the black with the rest of the shirt, just because, and same that the bottom of the pants and the cuffs as well. So we're gonna turn them kind of that orangey red, and this color we're gonna put it white. So apply now, and that's what you get. Okay, so I'm using this as the starting kind of general colors that I might be using. Let's see how it goes. So that's using the basic template. Sometimes you bring a template and it will have some more specific features to it. So here, okay, all these squares have colors. On the left column is whether you can see it or not. And by the way, you can hit here and change one sleeve a different color than the other. But if you check this box, then both are the same, like most of the time will be, right? But in this case, I'm gonna uncheck that because I want the sleeve to look the same color as the rest of the shirt. Shoulder panels in the top on the shoulders, obviously. And we can change the color that if we wanted to, again, using this panel that comes with the colors. And by the way, anything, if you move this out of here, it will be a color that is not included in the left and the bunch of colors that are standard you see on the left. But you have a little number there. Okay, so there you go. We converted that to green, and I can take out the eye so you don't see that. The sleeve cuffs, we can see them right now. I can change the color, like we created a green. Now it pops underneath here, but it will be there while you're modifying and working on your kit. But once you reset or reload, all this goes away because you're starting from scratch again. So you got to be careful. And when you hit toggle palette mode, it's for those that love the names of the colors. You have the names of the colors here. So I'm not sure that I'd rather work with just the color. I'm not to me, is as much as I modify colors and stuff here, with names of colors, I'm terrible. So I just try to use the color, the visual part. Now, if you take this little drop here, just like in Photoshop, this is dropper here, you can go over an area and copy the color code. See, like on the pants here, I click there and then I come up with that orange. And that is the name. If I'm gonna hit apply, and then you can apply to whatever you want. So that's the cool part of it. So that is that number, see? So that's what is very useful because, you know, you can apply to if you're trying to figure, what was that color, the perfect color, I want to have this perfect color there. So you can just copy the number and put it in, and like these side panels here, you can see them, and the hem and the shirt, you can see them there. So there's quite a few features. Now let me move this here and put it green so you can see at the bottom. I'm gonna remove it. I like it without that. Not very often I put the shoulder pan and the side panels. Now base design, look at what you can do a lot with these basic feature free mode of the creator. You can put stripes. You can do a lot more. You can change the color of the stripes or create colors, right? You can rotate the stripes. You can go like this. You can make it totally flat. You go to 0, what is it, 90 degrees, it goes flat. Depends how they started. And you go 90 degrees the other way to 0. Now they're vertical. So that's pretty cool. Now that is, and then you hit here the sleeves, you see that? This stays on top. The pattern stays on top of anything, any color that you have behind. Now, the stripes, I can change the width of the stripes that I'm putting on. Look at this. I'm gonna make it very small, and you get many more, or super big. And this is how you can be super creative with the basic features you have here. You can create and copy most of the shirts that the teams have using the basic mode. Now, the distance between the lines can be changed with distance. This is pretty cool. And I have had to do that to modify the looks of a particular shirt. Like when I did the Atletico Madrid, I had to do that. Modify the distance, and look at that. You can drag, or you can use a little square menu here next to the number. But I think it's a lot easier just to drag. Now the offset means that I'm moving the whole pattern across the jersey. That could be useful if you want to center, and this is where this little number here going up or down with more definition can do. It's easier than just dragging. And then this type 0, 1 and 0, I don't know what the heck that is, to be honest, right now. I mean, I just don't have an application for that. It just basically moves. Type -1 is that it's basically the same as offset, but it's just at particular steps, And then the count here, you can change the number of, basically the number of events that you have there. There you go. You got more stripes accumulated. And you cannot see it totally because you have fixed the width, the distance, etc., and the size. That's why you don't see, you can accommodate more than 12. But if you only have 2 and you put 4, then you can see them probably. So again, that offset centers that. Now you can mirror at the center. Obviously with lines it's kind of hard, but if you have a different pattern, you can mirror at the center. And you can still display these. You can say, I want to display the whole jersey, but not the front. You can do that. Or reverse it and say, don't uncheck the back, as often I do, so you can show the squat numbers in the back and the namings. And look at how cool this is, and the sleeves. So then you have only the pattern in that front, like many designs do have. So we're not done with the jersey yet, guys. Look at all these features that you can do and play with out of just using stripes, but there's more here. There's stripes with 2 colors. And you see that the 2 colors are there. There is a gradient. And there's gradient from different directions. There's a gradient too. And remember, with the offset and rotation, just imagine what you can do. Like for example here, I'm gonna change the width of this. Look at this band, or the offset. I can move it across to a specific spot. Look at this, across the chest there. And if I had the 2 color stripe, there you go. That's a very small width. You got the 3 color, and I can change just one of the colors if I want to, or change all the colors to the way I want them. Here we're gonna change the blue, that purple, and there you have it. And I can even change the green one as well. Let me put a brown here. Not that I want to keep that, it's just for the show. Okay, and then we got gradient stripes. I like this one, this is pretty cool. And remember, you can rotate them, increase the size. I mean, there are so many options. But anyways, that's what the base design does, is that you can playing with designs and gradients, you know, the stripes and gradients. That's pretty cool. Now, this is what the thing gets really cool. Adding patterns. You don't have to be a member plus. You have already a bunch of patterns here, more than you need probably. And although some of the patterns that you have a plus come from the pre-designed for some of the new jerseys that are coming out. But look at this, you get so many patterns here. And if we had to apply one, let me just find one here. Okay, they got Christmas, they got checkers, you got camouflage, I guess. And this one has actually 3 colors. So you can hit here, remove the pattern, it goes back, or you can add the pattern again. And let me just pick a different one here. This is a single color one with a couple of different shades to it. I'm gonna change, see, it goes all the way around. Now I'm gonna change the pattern, and let me find something here to play with. Look at that, zebra, all kinds of stuff, dots. I'm gonna play with these dots. Now remember that I say that you can increase the size. Well, you have the same options. Let me look at the shirt. We're gonna take a closer shoot at the jersey. That looks pretty nice. And it's got 3 pretty cool colors to it. Now, what we're gonna do here is that I am gonna show you what you can do with a pattern. Even with a pattern, you can do a lot of stuff. You see here, the opacity. If you go all the way left, it kind of goes away. The cool part about this is that if you have logos or anything written on the jersey, you can make it show by dimming down a little bit the pattern. See that? That's very sharp, or it can be opaque. So let me put a logo, and I don't have any presets here. This is the limitation with the basic, but if you have images that you have created with clear background, this is the way to use them. You can upload the image, and I have a whole bunch here, as you can tell. And I am going to just pick one out of here to play with, just to show you. So let me try to pick one that is be hard to see, sort of hard to see on this pattern jersey. Well, I picked Burnley. Actually, that one stands out pretty nicely. Yeah, I'll pick a different thing here. But I wanted to show you that, you know, I got that emblem, and it looks pretty cool there. But I'm gonna remove it, and let me show you what I meant to do. So let me just pick this one right here. And you see here, it's just that, and you can see the pattern right behind it. Let me go to logos here. No, I'm sorry. Let me go back to shirt. And if I change the opacity, now it stands out much better, right? So I'm gonna go to the right, you know, because it's black and it's pretty solid there, it looks pretty nice. It still stands out enough. Okay, so you can rotate the pattern. You see that? It's rotating, although in this case, I like the way it was. Go to 0 here. You can change the size. Look at this, guys. And I use this all the time. If you go to very small, it looks like that. Larger, you can reveal a different aspect of the pattern, make it look totally different. Look at that. And I think, let me adjust it to the size that I want to work with. I think this could be pretty cool right here. It's 100, a little bit larger, maybe about 175, 174 there. I like that. It's still pretty patterny, you know, filling the whole place. The offset, you see that? I can move it. In this case, there are so many dots that you can hardly tell when it's offset. You can go offset to the X or offset to the Y. You can mirror in the middle, or you can mirror horizontally or mirror diagonally, but that's for a very asymmetric patterns or pictures that you have on the shirt. But in this case, it's all dots all the way around, so you don't see much of the difference when I do that. And you can mirror on the back as well. And then it's got the buff base design, which I have never used. Not sure that does a whole lot. So now, again, as before, you can display only on the front, you know, by unchecking the back. That's what we're gonna do on this particular design. And we're gonna keep moving along with the tutorial. Okay, so this is the color. I think I'm gonna, that is the color of the shirt dots. And now if I pick only the color, I can change the number to the sampling I did on the dots, and look at this, is matching the dots color. Remember that I said that little number is pretty cool, because when you don't have a standard color, you can sample it, and now we can recolor this guy to the new guy that we added in. And here how all these tools come together. Any color that was something else, like reddish, now I made it sort of that salmon pink. Actually, this design is starting to come alive pretty nicely. I like it so far. And look at how much we have covered. There's a lot of topic, a lot of details. We can apply this to the shorts, and I'll show you. See that? Obviously the background color of the socks and the pants was already salmon, so it doesn't look as good there as it would look on a white shirt or a light gray shirt. So you have to go to the pants and remove it, and to the socks and remove the pattern. So you can still take it back if you don't like it. And I think that covers most of the stuff for the shirt, but there is stuff on the shirt. The collar also have its own features. So you can change the color on its own, and you know, let's change that just for the show. And there you go. I think I like it, the salmon color. Let me go back to that. All right. And we'll look at some other stuff. Now, under shorts, you see that you can show the side. Let me just put it white here. The side panels, there you go. You can make it show by putting the eye next to the color. Let me go back to the shirt because I think if I put a white, it's gonna look better. I like that. I like that. That's a little bit more contrast with the pattern, and now matches the side panels on the pants. I like that a lot now, guys. There's the hem, which is the same color, so it's like we didn't have the hem, so I'm gonna just uncheck that. And in the shorts, I want to highlight that you can select your own pattern. Let me click here, and just for fun, yeah, I want to show you that you can do that. And on the socks will be the same thing. You can have the wraparound at the top unchecked, and then it's a solid color all the way through. Or you can make it the same color as before. If you were to put a different color, like that bluish, we don't want to. We could have done that, okay? Now, these dots, I'm gonna copy the color of the dots. You see that I went to that square on the pattern, copy the code. Now I'm gonna put it on the sock right here on the wraparound. I'm gonna load the code in there, apply it, and that's how you make sure you can copy the color. See that? But I like the white again. I just wanted to show you that. I just kept thinking that I want to give you another example so you see the applications and the stuff you can do with all the features. You can put stripes from base design, and they got some, the base design has similar features as the t-shirt or the jersey. They got gradient stripes, but they also have a you know, you have none, and you got some other stuff there too. So isn't that pretty cool? Now there is a feature here that's called graphics, and you are able to add graphics, and that means that I can pick out a solid pattern. Now these patterns you cannot modify, like make them bigger or turn them around, but at least you can import them straight out and you can change the color. That's all you can do. Like here, I put the checkers on top and it goes in the hole. I can't do anything more. It just, you load it or not. But it goes on top of anything you have. Okay, so I'm gonna uncheck that because I don't want that graphic. But in that graphics area, I mean, you have socks, you have some particular opportunities for the colors, and you have other options. See, some of these patterns are benchmarked from actual clubs. Here's another pair of socks. There are some there benchmark, and you got the pants you can apply. So anyways, you get the hint. You can put additional graphics. That's pretty cool. Okay, logos, one of my favorites. I think probably my favorite stuff is putting logos. The brand, they have all these brands that you can select the logo for. You know, for example, let me just pick one that you might be familiar with. And let's take Spalding. So I check that one, and you see the Spalding name pop in, or where the logos go, and the pants, on the socks, and on the jersey. And you can change the color of the logo individually for the pants, or you know, for the shorts. Well, I'm gonna put it back on white. So that's very cool. For the team, and this is a lot of fun too. Remember, I use, you can change the color of that logo because it was monochrome. I put it blue, and you see that it looks blue. I guess the close up here. So if you check, you can change. You know, the shorts could be a different color, by the way. But if you don't check it out, then both of them will be the same color. So I'm gonna leave it as black. But I'm gonna upload an image that I have. Remember that you have presets for all the teams. If you are a member, I'm gonna put here this guy just to show how it would look. Even more, there is something peculiar about this feature here for the logo. And you see then the pants and the shirt, it loads both at the same time. Now you can change the size. Obviously, we're not gonna leave it at that, but I wanted to show you. Some logos you do wanna modify the size. Okay. It is saturation. I had the full color, and I can remove the color slowly. And you see how by reducing the saturation of color, it's becoming more gray, more black and white basically. Or I can have it somewhere in the middle there with a little bit of hint of color, but not all the way yellow, and make it more compatible with the pattern colors that I put already. Doesn't this look a lot nicer now? At least it goes with the colors on the jersey. So that's a pretty nice feature. And of course, I think the Spalding color on the shirt, I'm gonna put dark so it stands out a little bit more. And I think let me look at the full view. Those might stay. Sometimes I play to see, and this is all reversible, guys. You can do this on the spot and see how the entire jersey, kit comes together. But I think I like it white when it goes on the salmon color. Just for the jersey, when I leave it at black so it stands out a little. Okay, so this is a long video, but we are getting there, guys. Probably in 5 more minutes we cover this. Now the sponsor, and for the sponsor you get some additional features even with the basic tool. So I'm gonna just pick a random one here. I'm just picking this random, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be the one that matches Burnley, but I want to show you here it loaded in red because the image was in red. So in that case, I can go to the sponsor logo. Let me see the shirt. I'm gonna reduce the opacity a lot more, and you see that Emirates Fly Better stand out, right? I wanted to show you that. So what else can we do here and keep the intensity of the pattern on the jersey? Maybe changing the color. So we can add a sponsor logo color, and in this case it come out black, but I can pick any color I want. So I think it stands out nicer here. Now, if that wasn't enough, you can increase the size of the sponsor logo. You can move the position, by the way, vertically or horizontally, or you can add a box, then you can perfectly read it. Now these boxes are not as popular. Some designs, you can, this is the distance to the letters. I'm gonna extend this to the side so it goes across the front of the jersey. So it looks like that. It's not too bad, but it really disrupts the what I wanted to do with this pattern after I've been looking at it now for a while. So I can reduce the distance, and this whole band here gets reduced a little bit there. It's a little bit better, but I think I still like it without that sponsor or the sponsor box there. That's not bad, but I think I read it not even do that. Okay, I like it better like this. Definitely I can live with this. Okay, so what else we can do here? Let me go back to the shirt and reduce a little bit the opacity, a little bit here to maybe to 80 some. And there you have it, guys. I think that stands out a lot better. All the logos come out still pretty intense. The colors from the pattern, I think that's a good trade-off. And you got to play with this, with all these features. It's kind of fun to do. I like doing that. And you can go to the back of the I just want to show you this. See here, I loaded my sponsorship here. So I'm going to increase the size, and I'm going to bring it to a position here at the bottom of the shirt below the squat number. So we're going to leave that there. All right. On the sleeve, you can also upload an image, and both right and left, it can be different. It can be different logos. So I put here my own logo for the channel, and you can increase the size and the position down the sleeve. That goes up, and with the higher number goes down. So let me just put it a little bit higher. There we go. So I like that. It's looking good. It's looking really good. And finally, there's text and captain's armband. So for the text, I usually leave my signature on the back of the collar. And by the way, I'm typing here, so I have to play PES. I'm gonna put the text color in maybe black. On the plus version of the paid version of the tool, yeah, that's some white. Let me get a closer look there. See that? On the paid version, you can actually add a whole bunch of logos anywhere you want. And you can add into the socks, but let me just look at the whole thing, and I'm gonna untuck this, and it's looking good. All right, guys. So that's all we have, guys. I hope you enjoy this tutorial and creating from scratch a whole kit. And I hope you tune in for the upcoming videos. Go deeper on the tool. Ask me any questions in the comments, and I'll try to get back to you. And thank you. Subscribe for more, guys. One more thing here before I forget. Hit texture to save it. All right. And just give it a name, save it, and you're good to go. Yeah, remember to save that. Download it after you're done. That'll be a pity. So it will go here. All right, guys. Until the next one now, for good. Thank you for watching.